How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. As always, this is Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. We are watching the second Bleach movie here. This is the Diamond Dust Rebellion. I think that this is going to be relevant to Toshiro in some way, just because there was like an omake that was focused on Toshiro that was like another perspective on the movie or something. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I didn't read it yet because I wanted to watch the movie first. But so that's really the only thing I know is just that like maybe it'll have something to do with Toshiro in some way. He was in the last movie, but he'll be focused on more maybe. I don't know, or maybe the omake is focusing on him because he wasn't focused on. I don't know. Anything else to say? I don't really think so. Oh, I'll be watching the English dub. If you don't like that, I don't care. I do. So that's what we'll be watching, and I think that's all I gotta say. Check out the full length in the description below. There's no edited version or anything like that. I'm too lazy, so just watch the damn full length. Okay, where do we begin with this movie? Let's do the overall first. Overall, 90% of this movie, I think, is banging. Absolutely banging. It is primo. It's exactly what I want out of a Bleach movie. The last 10%, of it is where it goes downhill. Specifically, just the moment of having to have Kusaka. When Kusaka does the classic kick the dog moment you gotta do with any villain where the villain's starting to make too much sense and there's no real reason to want to defeat the villain, but then we have to suddenly have him want to be king, and so then it just takes away everything that he's been fighting for, it takes away all the impact of the story, and it just makes everything we've been doing in the movie pointless. Yeah, just a really stupid decision, but one I'm used to at this point. It is just the bread and butter of anime at this point. You gotta have a villain who makes too much sense, so then you gotta do something in the last second to make everything invalid. It's so annoying, but it's another example of it. But if we take that part of the movie out of it, I think the rest of the movie is all perfect. It's what I love from Bleach and what has been missing from the manga for a long time. Notably, like having a clash with a society, showing the, evils of Soul Society and having Ichigo want to fight against that, having Ichigo standing up for the person who's being executed by Soul Society. Like, all of that is what made Bleach so good. The very, row fight the power, aspect of Bleach is what was the big draw in the beginning, and it's kind of all gone away entirely from the manga. So I was very happy to see it here in the movie, until they took it away at the very end as well. Hitsugaya was a character that the movie was making me like a lot more at the beginning. It was like, depending on how it was all played out, it was either going to be, you're either going to really love Hitsugaya by the end of this movie, or you're really going to hate Hitsugaya by the end of this movie. There's no real in-between. And the people, I feel like this is a real, just, the people who already liked Hitsugaya are probably going to like him more. People who didn't like Hitsugaya are going to hate him a lot more. And that's kind of where I am. I was very ambivalent on Hitsugaya. I loved him during Soul Society. After Soul Society, I have disliked him. So I've just been kind of neutral on him. But this movie really destroys his character. Just makes him into an absolute piece of shit. I did really love the Oin as a concept and bringing more of the royal MacGuffins into this and talking more about the royal stuff in general. I do appreciate a lot of that. And I liked, our villain. I like Kusaka a lot as a villain if we exclude the final 10 minutes, or the final 10%. And I love his two lackeys. They were really fun the whole time, especially what he transforms them into and everything. Really fucked up and creepy and yeah, it's very fitting with a lot of the stuff from Soul Society and everything. But yeah, I really liked that whole side of things a lot. And, so yeah, there's a lot of, again, it's tough to talk about this movie because 90% of it I really enjoyed, but it's hard to talk about what I enjoyed about that 90% because every aspect that I can say I liked about it gets canceled out by the final 10%. So it's really tough to talk about the things I did like, but then also I'd be but also I don't like it anymore because of what happened at the end, but I did like it at the time. But I mean, yeah, honestly, I don't have much to say. Pretty much everything I could say we saw in the movie. I don't really have much else to say. this was very, very disappointing. I thought this movie was going to finally make me really love Toshiro and bring back everything I loved about him in Soul Society, but it's just further, like, confirming what I've been saying, which is the Toshiro we have in series now is not the Toshiro we had in Soul Society. These are just two different characters. I have such a hard time believing that the Toshiro we got in Soul Society is the Toshiro we're getting in this movie and in the Arrancar saga. I just have a hard time believing these two characters are the same person. But yeah, that's it. Not much of a discussion. I think I said everything I was going to say in the movie. There's not a whole lot else I have to say about this one. Hope you enjoyed the reaction until the final bit. Like, it was a great reaction up until then, so I hope you enjoyed it for all that it was worth. And now we'll get back to the manga. I will see you guys for more of the manga next time. Until then, get the fuck out of here.